Good evening, lacrosse fans. Welcome to game number 4 of the 2017 Meredith Cup, coming to you from the Wayne Gretzky Center in Brantford. Mark, game number 3, quick synopsis. You were there. Not quite the game that either team was expecting. Going from there till tonight, what can we expect?
Clarington Shamrocks took that game to another level. They dominated offense, defense, transition. Goaltending was solid. You were going to expect them to come out with more of the same today. And the Brantford Warriors are going to have to look at themselves in the mirror and say, we got to turn that around. We can't let that happen again. I don't want to be going down to Clarington down 3-1. So we're going to expect a totally different effort out of the Brantford Warriors tonight.
Definitely a pinnacle game here in game 4. So looking at our players to watch tonight for the Clarington Shamrocks, number 8, Braden McGregor. Mark, we've talked about this guy all series long, waiting for really that breakout game. Maybe tonight's going to be the night he's going to take the team on his back, but definitely a player that we're going to want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you'd think we'd be disappointed that he hasn't had those breakout games, but he's been pretty consistent, so solid game by Braden McGregor.
On the other side for the Warriors, the player to watch tonight is number 88, Ty Argent. Mark, you know, we've seen him score a ton of goals already in this series, and I think we're going to see a ton more before this one's out.
Yeah, his play speaks for itself. He's got a beautiful stick and really fun to watch.
Looking at our goalies for each team for the Clarington Shamrocks, Mark, we talked to the bench tonight. They are going to go with John Cardiff, come back with the guy who's hot. Sorry, with Underwood. My apologies. With Brent Underwood coming back with the guy who won Game 3 for them. A wise choice in your respects, or what?
Well, you know what? I mean, it's one of those things. You switch the guys up for the starts. Coaching staff probably feels they're going to go with the guy that's got the hot stick, and that's Underwood, and can't fault him for that decision. He's their go-to guy and a very solid goaltender.
His counterpart tonight for the Brantford Warriors, been the starter all series long. Lucas Nagy, we can't say enough about this guy. A bad game last game, but definitely his turn to steal one for his team and take his teammates on his back.
Yeah, I definitely saw the powerhouse offensive talent of the Shamrocks there. They had him beat, but he didn't get a lot of help defensively either, but I'm sure he's looking to have a big comeback here tonight and pick this team up.
So with warm-ups done now, we're going to throw it back to Alex on the board, and we'll be back right after this for the opening face-off, this game number 4. All right, Mark, we're back with live action here from the Wayne Gretzky Center in Brantford for game number 4. As we mentioned in the pregame, Clarington up 2-1. Game number 3 was kind of a lopsided affair. Mark, what can we expect tonight from these two teams?
Well, I think Brantford's going to be happy to be back on their home floor. Long couple boat trips out to Clarington. Probably very happy they came away with one victory on their floor. And I think if they would have said, hey, after 3 games here in the Meredith Cup final, you're down 2-1 and you're going to play game 4 on your home floor, I think they would take that.
So here's the Shamrocks on the first offensive set of the night. Working it on the right-hand side. Quick shot, big save by Lucas Nagy, starting in net tonight for the Brantford Warriors. On the other end of the floor, his counterpart, starting in net for the Clarington Shamrocks, number 00, Brent Underwood. Mark, what's this say when Clarington's coming back with Underwood tonight instead of going, with Cardiff?
Well, you can't fault him for the game that he had. He was stellar. He didn't get tested a lot, but he played a solid game. And coach has said, hey, go with the hot goalie. And he's the hot goalie right now, and that's who they're going with.
And we'll see, the last time Underwood was here, he got chased only 10 minutes into the game. Brantford was up 5-2 at that point. Not able to hold on for the win, but Underwood definitely was chased. He was not at his best. Came back last game and held the fort, only allowing 4 goals all game, and they've come back with the hot goalie. So Brantford now with the ball coming up the left-hand side. That's Atridge. He dishes off. Quick shot and a goal.
A quick goal by the Brantford Warriors, exactly what they needed coming out here. Yeah, number 12, Hunter Angus, gets the Brantford Warriors up 1-0 a minute and a half into this game.
So, Mark, not the start that Clarington or Underwood were looking for. This is the way it started in game 1. Brantford strikes early, able to get up 2 or 3 goals, put Clarington on their heels. Obviously the start that the Warriors want, sneaking it through the wickets of Underwood.
Yeah, down low, probably one that Underwood wants back. Not the type of goal he wants to give up, but you know, it's 1-0 here. Good chance to talk to Paul Henhock Jr., Adam Giles, and Lee Stewart before the game, the coaches for the Brantford Warriors. Said, hey, how was the bus trip home? And he says, you know what, kids were fantastic. They were upbeat. They were anxious to put that game behind them. And they're going to come out, play their game again, get back to that running fast style here, and a good start for them here early on going in the first period of game number 4.
So Brantford down the left side with a shot. Quick turnover picked up by Clarington. That's number 44. That's William Carndiff. A couple of outstanding players for the Shamrocks. Carndiff.
Here we got a turnover, interception early on. Argent going to the net.
Tried to sneak that one. Underhand was Argent.
What hands he has.
By Clarington. Back up the other way. Quick shot. Big save by Nagy there. Nice breakout pass by Carndiff. Another save by Nagy. Definitely a better start for him tonight than in game number 3. Too many men, says referee Kyle Coulter. His counterpart tonight, John Sutcliffe, who saw action in game 1. In the box tonight, referee Phil Gibbons, watching things from the sidelines, but definitely keeping an eye on the action as things progress.
Saw in the last possession for Clarington, Brent Pace wide open in front of the net, trying to get a good look. That's something that Brantford Warriors are going to have to pinch off. They gave up a lot of early goals there. Matt Halliday just killed him inside and point blank in front of the crease. And that's something they're going to have to try and pinch off and close off and not give Clarington those easy looks from in front of the net.
Here comes Giles riding hard to the net. Crease call, says Coulter. We're going back the other way. Shamrocks with the ball, bringing it up the right-hand side. Number 4, that's Jacob Kelly. He's going to pull up and wait for the full change to finish. He's going to dish off to Carndiff. Carndiff around top, back to Kelly. Kelly gets some room inside. Glove save by Nagy. Brantford with the rebound. They're going to bring it up the floor. Trying to force something when it wasn't there. Clarington going to pick up the ball. There's Monroe. He's going to bring it up.
Big Braden Monroe, good solid defender for the Clarington Shamrocks. Those guys don't give get a lot of attention throughout the season. They don't put up the points, but they are so valuable for teams in their championship run, Wayne.
You know, Mark, we talked about how important defense is in games like this, and Brantford especially being down 2-1, how they need to really hold the fort, protect the house, and be solid on defense. And we're going to be talking a lot about their defensive guys tonight and how important it is that these guys play their game.
Yeah, first 2 games were shootouts. Last game was a 10-4 battle, so it's almost like a chess match here. Wayne, Clarington came out with, hey, here's our top defense, almost putting Brantford into a check position and saying, here, what can you do to counteract this? And so big task by the Brantford Warrior coaching staff to counteract that. And both teams do have some good, solid transition and defensive guys that we hope we can point that out and give them a little bit of recognition that they well deserve.
So Brantford bringing up the floor. That's Salazzo. He's into the offensive zone. Quick shot there, saved by Underwood. Picked up there, another shot, saved by Underwood. So Brantford definitely on the offensive tonight, making Underwood earn his keep.
Great pace to the beginning of this game. Nice, fast-paced, hard-nosed lacrosse. 5 minutes into this game, where we got a 1-0 lead by the Brantford Warriors, but no shortage of chances and fast-paced play.
Riley Gerard works it down low. And that was Brent Lace with a shot on net there. Squeezed in the pads of Nagy, able to force the whistle, and Brantford bringing the ball up the left-hand side. That's number 12. That's Jacob Parkinson. He dishes off and gets off the floor. Shot on net there.
We're driving to the net. We got an interference call going on to the Shamrocks.
Yeah,
and Underwood's down. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a stoppage here and get the trainer out, give him a look.
Definitely not a smart play, Mark, on behalf of Zanoski for Clarington, pushing the Brantford player into his own goalie. Underwood is already down, 1 goal tonight. So we're going to wait and see here if Underwood can can work through this and stay in the game. If not, Cardiff already got his gear on the bench ready to come in. So we're going to see if Underwood gets pulled or if he, that's got to hurt, Mark, right into the post like that. His own player, definitely not a smart play by Zanoski.
No, even though the posts aren't on any kind of a mooring, man, that's some pretty solid metal, and you don't have any protection on your back. You could possibly get a little bit of a whiplash, and they're going to take all the time that they need here for Underwood to make sure he's okay. Caleb Wells driving hard to the net, and that's the kind of speed that's going to force some mistakes and maybe get some unforced, undisciplined errors out of the opposing visiting team here. So Underwood slowly getting up, which is good to see.
I think I saw the trainer give the thumbs up to the bench, so I think
that's good to see.
Underwood's going to be sticking around.
Yeah. So Brantford Warriors special teams haven't really been 5 minutes for that call. Looks like Zanoski checking from behind, perhaps, or with that interference. I think he called
Probably
on that.
Probably 5 for interference. If it was a 5 check from behind, it would have been a game misconduct. Definitely, Mark, could have been a 5 in a game, based on what we saw in game number 1 with the check from behind. But again, they're giving him the benefit of the doubt. 5 for interference, and Zanoski able to stay in the game.
So special teams, as I was saying, Wayne, not anything spectacular out of the Brantford Warriors on their power play. They do have a couple short-handed goals, but power play has been not where they've been getting the most of their offensive points from and goals. Most of that's been from even strength play, but here they get a 5-minute opportunity to just add on to that early lead that they have.
So Brantford working it around with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Robillard with the ball up top. Quick shot off the post there. Very easy, could have been 2-0, Mark. But goalies love their goal post. Brantford able to recover the offensive rebound. Here's Argent. He's going to dish it back up to Robillard. Back up, big shot off the left shoulder of Underwood.
Giles with a couple good looks from up top. He's got a nice shot. Had a big game in game number 2 for the Brantford Warriors, especially in the third period. That kind of sealed off the victory for them.
Argent with the ball now. 13 on the shot clock. Quick pick there by Caleb Wiles. Back up, a shot off the Clarington player. It's still going to remain Brantford ball. They're going to have a full 30-second shot clock with just under 4 minutes to go in the power play. So Argent, he's going to start the ball down low. He's got it over to Ryan Dorr, who gets it back up top to Argent. Argent with a shot off a Clarington player. A battle for it along the board, picked up by Wiles. He's being checked heavily.
Ryan Laley there for the Shamrocks, doing a jump on that Lucy, trying to burn off some seconds or even get a fast break for himself. And here we got Tyler Farquharson, another strong defensive player, the captain of the Shamrocks, with one of his many roles for the Shamrocks here in the man short and the rag position. Big, strong body. Likes to use that up to his advantage against the defenders, but here he loses the ball. Brantford gets the ball back, and they'll be moving it up for their next opportunity on the man-up situation.
So Giles bringing the ball up left-hand side for the Warriors. He's got it back up to Dorr. Dorr back to Giles. He finds Robillard up top. And you got Wells, and it looks like a penalty. I think referee Sutcliffe taking both players here.
So that opens up a little bit more floor. It looks like the Brantford Warriors are interested in coming back with the type of game that they are successful at, and that's the speed game. And some real solid offensive guys here to get some open floor with. Ty Argent being one of them, our player to watch again here on the offensive side for the Warriors. Solid hands, moving the ball around well, and gets a Lucy in the corner.
Agus takes a shot wide, picked up by Argent. Back to Agus. Quick shot, tries to go over top of Underwood. Underwood just way too tall for that one. Argent with the ball, back up to Robillard. Onto the left-hand side, Agus. Robillard, he's right on top of goaltender Underwood there. Shot goes wide, back down, picked up by Nagy with 15 to go on the shot clock. They're going to have to make quick work of this remaining time in their possession. Robillard over to Giles, down to Agus. And we got a 2-goal game here, Mark.
Nice ball movement by the Brantford Warrior. Hunter Angus again, who didn't dress in game number 3, comes out here in game number 4, gets a power play goal.
And we're still 4-on-3 in favor of the Brantford Warriors. So, Mark, if they get another goal here on the power play, it could very quickly be a 3-0 deficit. That's something that Brantford, or something that Clarington wants to avoid. Their defensive players here are really going to need to hold the fort, as Robillard has the ball now up top on the left-hand side. He finds Argent. Big save there by Underwood to hold the fort. And just as we saw in game 2, Mark, Brantford just all over.
Argent sneaks it in. There's that press by the Brantford Warriors. 3 guys on the Clarington Shamrocks players. Ball goes out. Now you know the ball's bouncing in Brantford Warriors' favor.
Mark, we reminiscent of game 1. We spoke about it earlier, how important it was for Underwood to come back with a strong showing here in Brantford. And Brantford just, you know, we talked about them on the bus on the way home the other night. You know, they're not letting that loss affect them. They're back here on home turf. They're really coming out tonight showing that they want, to go back to Clarington with a 2-2 series tie. So with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock, there's a turnover picked up by the Warriors, and they're going to bring it out. That's Giles has the ball now. He's got it up to Parkinson. Parkinson dishes off, and he heads to the bench. So we're at 4-on-4 play now, Mark, for about another 7 seconds. And we'll be back to 5-on-5 action as Brantford makes good on both of their power play opportunities on a 5-minute major. You're allowed to score 2 goals.
Yeah, big offensive boost for the Brantford Warriors. 2 power play goals, taking advantage of their first major power play opportunity. And how important are those penalties early on in this game, making a difference on the outcome, or at least the opportunities that teams have. And now here, looks like the Brantford Warriors are going to return that favor and give the Clarington Shamrocks their first power play opportunity.
That's Salazzo going to the box, I believe, for slashing. And that'll be a 2-minute penalty, so we'll get a first look at the Clarington power play tonight. And William Carndiff will be starting with the ball up top. Looks like goaltender Nagy getting some equipment repairs there on the bench. Maybe a bit of a breather before they go on the man short to give his players an extra rest. But as we mentioned earlier, Mark, the penalty there by Clarington, the 5-minute major, an untimely, unnecessary check into the goaltender, allows Brantford to really get a stranglehold here early in the first period. Carndiff now up top, off to the right-hand side. He's got Holiday, 5 goals in game number 3 on his left side, and McGregor down low as well on the left-hand side. On the right side, you got Riley Gerard, face-off specialist.
How strong have those right-handed shots been for Clarington? They've got a vast majority of the points for them. Interested to see if Brantford tries to pinch off on those players a little bit and make the lefties beat them, but...
And there's a lefty there, Mark, Riley Gerard. They just let him walk down here. You get a look at the replay that he's just allowed to walk right down the middle, and I think he was, caught off guard as well. He was looking for someone to check, and so he could dump off, and he just able to put it over the right shoulder of Lucas Nagy. So we're looking at a 3-1 game now with 9:28 left to go in the first period. Clarington on the board for the first time on the power play.
Yeah, man down or even strength, you just can't let the guys walk down the middle, down Main Street, or park themselves out in front of the net. Clarington players are just too gifted, too strong offensively, and they're going to hurt you more often than not if you give them those kind of looks and opportunities. So hopefully Brantford can get their slides working a little bit better, and if not, the Clarington Shamrocks are going to thank them for every inch they have in front of the net and taking a look at Nagy and behind the net.
So we're back to 5-on-5 here. Quick pass across, meant for Lace, picked off by the Brantford defender. And up the right-hand side, left-hand side, comes number 4, that's Connor Gillis. And he finds Agus again. That's his second of the game, Mark. Like you said, he didn't play in game number 3. That's his second of the night. We have a 4-1 ball game. And Brantford just able to stifle that sort of offensive threat and come back down and get that 3-goal lead back.
Yeah, you like those 3-goal leads, right? The other team gets one back, and all of a sudden they get some momentum. So if you can fire back and get that 3-goal lead again, then you got a bit of comfort zone there. So big goal by Agus to stop the momentum that Clarington seemed to get and get back, restore that 3-goal lead for the Brantford Warriors.
So with 5 seconds left to go here, Nagy just throwing the ball up the floor, giving his team a chance to get back and change their defenders. This is going to be Tyler Farquharson. He's going to try to get past Argent. He does, gets the ball up the floor. That's Cardiff now. He's going to go one-on-one. Good defensive set there. Picked up, shot goes wide by the Shamrocks. 10 seconds left to go on the 30 seconds. Ball's back over to the left-hand side. That's McGregor with a long shot off the shoulder of Nagy, but Clarington able to fight and recover the loose ball. Now picked up by Salazzo, sporting the Woody tonight. Brantford now looking to set up, looking to go up by 4. That was the captain looking for the streaking Argent, doesn't find him.
Nice job by James Houston. Michael Como going to the net. James Houston, an all-Ontario long pole in the junior men's field lacrosse, does a clamp down on Como and prevents him from getting a stick on that ball. Nice play by James Houston.
Farquharson now with the ball coming up the right-hand side for the Shamrocks. He dishes off to Lysick, over to Cardiff. Cardiff finds McGregor down low. McGregor been sort of quiet so far in this series. Maybe he's going to have his breakout game tonight, as Halliday and Cardiff have both had on that left side for the right-handed shots, Mark, but we got more penalties here, as looks like 2 more are going, 1 each. With just under 7 minutes to go, Ryan Dorr is going to be starting with the ball up top for the Warriors. We are 4-on-4, so there will be a 30-second shot clock. He's got Wiles and Argent on his right, and on his left, he has Giles. There's Wiles.
Caleb Wells cuts in front of the net. What a feed by Argent. There's a couple of guys that seem to really be clicking well together, confidence in each other. Wells puts his stick up. Argent just feathers it right in there, and Wells makes no mistake by popping in the short side.
Hold the fort and pull it together. He does look shaky though, Mark. There's another shot there, stopped by Underwood. That was Robillard on the shot. Errant pass there, almost picked off by the Warriors. It is picked off by the Warriors. So now we're seeing play, Mark, reminiscent of the latter half of game number 2, when Brantford really outplayed the Shamrocks, snuffed out any opportunity to get the ball up the floor, the full court press. They're really putting it to the Shamrocks right now, and this is how they, were able to get up in game 1, weren't able to hold on, but, I think they're a better team if they get the lead and able to sit on it.
Yeah, I think obviously they're not going to let up here at all. They're going to keep pressing and keep playing their game, but definitely a better scenario for them on the bench, that they're coming out playing the way they can, using their speed and taking a little bit of an advantage of the bus legs probably for the Shamrocks here. And I don't think they're going to let history repeat themselves. At least they know what happens if they give this team any kind of room and any kind of momentum. That lead can slip away in a heartbeat.
Oh, Mark, this is lacrosse. This isn't soccer. A 4-goal lead is nothing with Still 2.5 periods to go. So as we saw in game number 1, the Shamrocks were able to come out and erase that 3-goal deficit like it was nothing. And so this game definitely long from over. We've seen it from Clarington before during the regular season, already in the playoffs. You know what, they're far from out of it yet. So 20 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Warriors with the ball. We're about to be 5-on-5 as our penalized players step back onto the floor. Warriors number 19, that's Giles. He has the ball waiting for the line change to be completed. He finds Argent. Here goes Argent again. Out front to Wiles. Wow, another mark. We can't leave those players out front like that if you're going to expect to stay in this game. But just some mental breakdowns, some defensive lapses on behalf of the Shamrocks.
Just over 4 minutes left to go in the first period. What a start by the Brantford Warriors. Boy, did they need that after game 3.
You know, Mark, like we said, this game is far from over, but unless Clarington really can start to shut down these holes in their defense here with, you know, 5-on-5, 4-on-4 play, these aren't even power play opportunities, you know, this is going to get away from them. So Shamrocks now with the ball on the right-hand side. That's Lace. He has the ball. He's got Gerard with him. Pass up top to Carndiff. Down the side to McGregor. Back to Carndiff goes Aaron. Picked up by Lucas Nagy. So far, hasn't seen a lot of action tonight, Mark. Hasn't been a lot of good opportunities by Clarington, and anything that they've thrown at him, except for one, he's been able to stifle. So
we're going to get another power play opportunity. Underwood's heading to the bench. Looks like we're going to get a high stick.
Clarington looking for one last opportunity here to get something back in this first period. And we'll see if Coach Brock Harris makes a goaltender change at the end of the first, or if he comes back with Underwood. So we got an interference call here. Here's a case where players need to just walk away with under 2 seconds to go in the first period. Brantford just happy to throw the ball down. So quite a change of events, Mark, here, going from a lopsided affair in favor of the Shamrocks in game 1 to being a lopsided affair for the Warriors in game number 4, sorry.
Brantford Warriors and their efforts in the first period here so far.
So after 1 period of play, it is the Brantford Warriors 6 and the Clarington Shamrocks 1. This is game number 4 of the 2017 Meredith Cup. Starter for most of the season, having him back out for the start of the second period. Mark, you got to bet he's on a short leash, though.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at something to change this momentum. You know, second period was a strong period in game number 1 where they started coming back from that 5-2 deficit in that game. But yeah, I think they're going to look at trying to get some better looks and definitely trying to give Underwood some more help back there and start turning the tides in this game, or this game could get a little bit out of hand for the Shamrocks.
Big shot there by Riley Gerard. Nagy equal to the task. Turnover. Brantford bringing the ball back up the right-hand side. And that's number 27. That's Como.
Michael Como, nephew of one of the most coveted and one of my favorite coaches in the NLL and in the game of lacrosse, Ed Como.
Shot there. There's that bounce shot, Mark. We talked about it in game number 2. Goaltenders hate it, coaches love it. And there's another one quickly past goaltender Underwood. Looking over at the Clarington bench to see if goaltender Carndiff gets the nod. Not yet, says Coach Harris. So 7-1 here early on in the second period.
Stick, it looks like, of Underwood, and gives the Brantford Warriors, who are continuing to press here, 7-1 lead. 19 minutes left to go in the third period.
And there's an inadvertent trip there marked by Argent. Completely an accident. McGregor over in his face trying to maybe get some momentum back going for his team, but Argent over there apologizing to the Shamrock player on the ground that he was in pursuit of the ball and it was not a purposeful trip. Obviously at this point it's not a penalty that Argent was meaning to take.
But we've also seen, these are two good teams. We have seen when one team steps it up, they can make the other team look a step slower and a step behind the play. So that's what the Brantford Warriors are doing tonight.
Still lots of time. Couple quick goals here. You know, Clarington right back in it. They've shown that they're a team who can overcome adversity, you know, after being down a bunch of goals here. So with the ball now up top, that's Cardiff. He's over to Halliday. Picked off there by the Warrior defender. That's Parkinson.
Yeah, Jacob Parkinson with a kind of an excuse me interception as Holiday was trying to pass it across to Riley Gerard right into Parkinson's stick, and now they got a short-handed chance on scoring opportunity, but the Shamrocks do pick up the Lucy and are bringing it back and trying to get a power play goal here to close this gap a little bit.
Clarington now with the ball back on the power play. That's Holiday. Back up top to Cardiff. Same 5 guys out that we've seen most of the series on the power play. It's Gerard back to Cardiff. Over to Holiday. Quick shot there. Big save by Nagy. Just really moving well tonight. Steps across. Able to make the stop there. He squeezes the wickets. Able to stop on Gerard. And Brantford able to get the ball, and they're going to bring it up the floor. Parkinson again. He's got the ball up.
Brantford using their bench, try and stretch the floor a little bit on the man short. Almost had a guy point blank in front on the short hand, but they got the ball deep and are trying to kill off some valuable seconds of this power play and doing a good job of it. And Shamrocks get it back, but won't have but 20 seconds before they are back to even strength.
So Clarington able to break the ball up the right-hand side, but an errant pass there. Just skips over the stick of Holiday. Back comes Brantford. That's Wells bringing it up. Fairly quiet tonight so far. It's been most of the right-handed shots doing the work. Agus with 3 goals in the first period. So Wells now with the ball. We're back to 5-on-5 action as the penalized player is released. Robillard with the ball up top. Back to Wells. No, that's Argent. Shot saved by Underwood. Picked up by Clarington. We have a bit of a fast break here. Just a bit too far. And that was Jacob Kelly. And there's another long pass here, Mark. These players are trying to force this too much instead of going for the short pass. Loose ball here. Picked up by the Shamrocks. Nope, sorry, picked up by the Warriors. And this is Argent. One-handed shot, just almost slips it by Underwood. Picked up by Wells off the board. Shot there from outside, reset, says referee Sutcliffe. Back the other way comes Clarington. Clarington up top. Picked up there by Riley Gerard. He dishes off, and Cardiff now trying to make some work here. Over to McGregor. McGregor sneaks one past the glove side low of Nagy, and it's a 7-2 ball game.
To Nagy's right and gets Clarington on the board here. Close the gap. Still a 5-goal lead by the Brantford Warriors here, though.
So we'll see if Brantford can repeat what they've done previously and come back with a quick goal here to stem any sort of a offensive effort by the Shamrocks. Interference call there. Good call by referee Sutcliffe. Back the other way. Back the other way comes Clarington, looking to build off their momentum from the last goal. Looking to make this a 7-3 lead. Now with under 15 minutes to go in the second period. Clarington down the right-hand side. Again, I think trying to force some of those passes, Mark. They're really showing a bit of desperation here, trying to get back into this. Back in, says referee Sutcliffe. Good call. They're right on the crease to make that call. Picked up by Holiday.
Good pressure by Holiday. I think that's the right strategy by Clarington Shamrocks here. Fight through the rough spot they're going through. Keep trying to press. It's not going to look pretty at times, but if that's their kind of a game, then I think that's what they have to stick to and try and fight through the rough spots, and they'll find success in the long run.
So we're going to have coincidental minors here yet again. The Clarington bench expressing their disapproval with the Clarington player on the bench, cross-checking the leg of the Brantford Warrior. Brantford Warrior retaliating with a slash, so it was definitely a good call by Sutcliffe to get both offenders in that case. I talked about, in previous games how I don't like to see guys just going off, but there was definitely a case where both players, had an infraction and referee Sutcliffe got the call right. So we're 4-on-4 action here, Mark, with 14 minutes to go in the second period. We're a 7-2 edge for the Warriors. Warriors now with the ball. That's Agus. He's got 3 already. Wide open again in front there as Argent gets the ball. Moving pick, says referee Coulter, and we're going to come back the other way.
A quick transition, trying to move the ball down quick, see if they can get a step on the Brantford Warriors. But Brantford Warriors showing their speed. They've really got some, like I said, some jump in their step here tonight. And they are hungry to even up this Meredith Cup Championship Series. Going down 3-1 and going back to Clarington to the Chamois Shack would be a tough haul for any team to come back from if they were to find themselves down 3-1.
So Brantford now with the ball. There's Wells. Shot goes wide. Going to come all the way back down. Going to be picked up by Nagy. Ball doesn't quite make it there. Yep, it sure does. Going to be Clarington ball as the shot clock expires.
A good effort by Dora. I think I'd want to try and tie up Braden McGregor if he got the ball as well. He is a very talented player. Oh, sneaks through Nagy and just misses.
Nagy didn't know where it was that time.
Oh.
But a good move there, Mark. He didn't step back. He stepped to the side and he turned to the side, so we didn't kick the ball in. We saw that in game 1, where those big size 12s, and there's Brantford responding to the Shamrock goal. And we're back to a 6-goal bulge with 13 minutes to go in the second period.
An 8-2 game with about 12.5 minutes left in the second period.
So face-off here, still being contested for. Loose ball infraction on the Warriors. Picked up here by Clarington now with a full 30-second shot clock. Clarington still with the ball.
William Cardiff driving a little twister shot, almost beat Nagy. Nice job by both players. Nagy stands tall, makes a save.
Cardiff now with the ball up top. He finds a streaking
Brent Pace in front of the net. Great feed by Cardiff.
And that's just the elixir that the Shamrocks were looking for after they get slightly back into it. Brantford gets the 6-goal bulge. Shamrocks able to respond.
For the Shamrocks, we're in the C for the first year. Brock Harris had nothing but complimentary things to say about their leader this year. He does it all. And I'm sure he's not happy here about his own player taking an unsportsmanlike conduct. But he'll be at the top of the man short here as the Brantford Warriors get a power play opportunity, Wayne.
Well, definitely an untimely penalty for the Shamrocks here. I'm not sure what the Shamrock player said to referee Coulter, but he made short work of sending the player to the penalty box here. So a golden opportunity for the Warriors to get their 6-goal lead back. Currently leading 8-3. Shot goes wide there. It's going to be Clarington ball coming up on the man short. I don't think they can let up here, Mark. I think they need to keep coming at Brantford, go for a short-handed marker to try and get themselves back in this game. So 2 on the ball.
Graham McCrory, who does a great job in that reg. Only 3 shorthanded goals in this series so far, Wayne. 2 by Brantford, 1 by Clarington. But I agree with you there. I think these guys, they got a couple guys that are slippery, can move the ball around. I think they're going to maybe have to change their strategy on the short man here and try and get some looks at the net. And if they got an opportunity, I think they're going to have to take their shot here and hope for the best and chip away at this lead.
So Clarington doing a great job of killing off this man short. Brantford trying to get that ball back with now 1 minute to go in the power play.
A real good cutting to the net. Nice feed, but a nice save by Nagy as well. Braden McGregor picks it up. He's dangerous. He's going to look for some open floor, see if he can find somebody open.
Good defense to contain by the Warriors. McGregor, we've talked about him. He's slippery like Wells. He's small. He's able to break through some of those checks a lot of times, and Brantford doing a good job there to prevent that from happening. Brantford, long pass up the floor, finds the mark with 18 seconds now to go on the power play. Wells, he has the ball. He finds Argent down low. Argent tries to go over top of Underwood. Really tough mark with these tall goalies to go over top, but we're going to be back to even strength here. But not early enough for Robillard, as he's able to put it stick side on Underwood to make it a 9-3 game.
Yeah, power play goal. 1 second left on the clock. Doesn't matter when you score, but took advantage of that.
I think you'd said that the coaches weren't even sure his name was John until you said it, because he goes by Jack. But he's John Jr., father John as well, so he goes by Jack, dad goes by John. So
right now, I'm sure it's probably looks like it's just going to be minutes for Cardiff. But he came in strong in game number 1. And just very much like in game number 3 in Clarington on Monday night. Probably just looking for some positives out of this game. And if the ball starts bouncing in their direction, all the better. But really going to start looking at taking some positives here, winning their shifts, forgetting about the score, and getting back to the type of game that they can play.
So with 20 seconds to go on the shot clock here, Argent, he has the ball. He's going to wait for the line change to finish. And this is where patience is key, Mark. They're up by a bunch of goals. They really need to slow things down, make sure of their passes, make sure of their cuts, their picks, everything, to not give the Shamrocks an inch to get back into this.
No, but that's something I think we've had trouble seeing out of the Brantford Warriors, that patience game. They continue to drive, and here the Shamrocks get a nice look in front with Cardiff just hitting the top left shoulder of Nagy. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually play that kind of strategy, even if it's 5-10 seconds here. That keeps the ball out of the Shamrocks' stick. And that type of offense is a good defense as well. Ty Argent working the ball down there in the corner against two Shamrocks. Looks like he is still fighting a loose ball. Team's bucking it around in the corner. And the Shamrocks come out with it just before the 30-second clock was about to expire.
We've got just a reset there by referee Sutcliffe. Clarington just not even able to get any sort of offensive set going here, Mark, in the second period. Save from the one goal, 2 goals they've scored. It really hasn't been much of a offensive production for this squad tonight.
No, a swarming defense by the Brantford Warriors. They were really slow on their slides last game. Slow and not even to the right spots. It seemed like the reads were not quite sharp. Sliding to the wrong guy as the Clarington Shamrocks were finding the open guy in the open space, but they've tightened up on that and have shut down the very powerful right-handed shots on the left-hand side for the Clarington Shamrocks. And they get another one on Cardiff. Knowing what they can do. They were smiles before the game. They were loose, which is really one of the keys, I think, too, coming and bouncing back from a game like that. So, hats off to the Brantford Warriors. They could have really been sinking their heads in their chest, but they're coming out hungry here, and they're being rewarded with a 10-3 lead here in game number 4.
6.5 to go, as Mark mentioned, it is 10-3. Still lots of time for the Shamrocks to come back. Also lots of time for the Brantford Warriors to tack on a few more here. So we are far from over either way. The way things are going, I don't see things ending anywhere close to what the score is now. So
no, they're giving the ball back there, an errant pass, trying to hit Clarington player, but found a yellow jersey. And that's, when the ball doesn't bounce your way, it doesn't bounce your way. And I guess it's better for that to happen in one game than over a couple of games. But looks like we get another injured player.
Looked like could have been a low check there. Referee Coulter not able to see that, but it looked like possibly a check to the hip of the Shamrock player, but it will be a possession call. It was on the pick, so oftentimes those are called as minor interference, as a moving pick. Shamrocks looking just to get something going here in this second period, to climb back in and give themselves a chance, Mark, really in the third period to come back as they did in game number 1, to come from behind and make a game of this down the stretch. Clarington still with the ball, in front of the Brantford bench with 7 on the shot clock. It's going to be a shot here, probably from outside.
Oh, Lissick with a shot, going for his own rebound. A little behind the back shot by Lissick, showing some of his stick skills. A nice move, trying to make something happen. And Halliday, who had the hot stick in game number 3 in front, just misses.
Just tried a little bit of a lob pass there over top of Nagy, and just about went in, but squirted wide. Gerard with the ball, tries to find it over, and again, there's Parkinson with a little how-do-you-do pickoff pass there. Just happened to be right place, right time, stick up. Bring it down, back down the other way. Good speed, and able to put Brantford back on the offensive, up 10-3.
Yeah, I like Jacob Parkinson's game, Wayne. We talked about him a little bit before the game. He's quick on transition, plays a solid D game, rewarded with a goal here and there, and 2 interceptions here so far this game on the kind of like just being in the right spot at the right time.
So here's a bit of a 2-on-1 situation. That's Jacob Kelly down the right-hand side. Big stop by Nagy, picked up here by Holiday. He will throw it back while the offense comes on. Clarington now with the ball. That's Gerard. He gets it back up top, and we got a penalty coming to Brantford here for unsportsmanlike. And like I said, set themselves up for a comeback in the third period, but they're going to need to do something here, Mark, with now under 4 minutes to go. Holiday with the ball. Quick shot over. Big step side there by Nagy. Really showing his agility for a big guy. That was Gerard. Back up top now is Cardiff. Over to Gerard. Gerard, no mistake there by Holiday. There's that pump fake, Mark, you talked about. They were using so much in game number 3. Just able to put it past Nagy to make this a 10-4 game. So Rob Allard going to start with the ball, and there will be a 30-second shot clock as we are even strength. Shot from outside there, saved by Cardiff. The intensity level picking up a bit here, Mark, as we're seeing a bit more aggression on either team and a bit more rough stuff going on after whistles. So we'll see how referees Sutcliffe and Coulter call this one. Lace with the ball on the right-hand side. He gets over to Farquharson. 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. He's going to streak to the net. Tries to cut through. Crease, says referee Coulter.
Yeah, Farquharson, I think, is going to cash in on one of those eventually. He's had a few lanes to the net, hasn't been able to cash in, but maybe he's just saving it for a more timely situation. But big body, really impressed by his defensive play and leadership on this team.
So Brantford now with the ball. That's Wells. Quick shot there. Didn't get through, but Cardiff able to get the ball. Mark,
oh, nice tuck. Oh, he still got a lane to the net. Riley Gerard just misses off the post, but nice feed by Cardiff. Hailed as just loving the role of coming in off the bench. That takes a special kind of mindset to be able to do that, come off the bench cold. But I think when Cardiff does that, he's got a big smile on his face and he's ready for whatever you're going to throw at him.
So with exactly 30 seconds to go here in period number 2, Brantford going to work the ball deep into the zone of the Shamrocks. That's Argent. He's going for more. Argent being told by his bench to slow things down and go for the last shot. There's Agus with the ball. Takes a shot. That goes wide. With 7 seconds to go, we're going to be going to the dressing room with a 6-goal bulge in favor of the Warriors, Mark. 10-4 after 2. Not the comeback that the Shamrocks were hoping for in the second period, but 6-goal spread, not a lot in lacrosse. Still lots of time left to go. All right, Mark, we're back now with the beginning of the third period here. We're getting some bench personnel straightened out. I know at the end of period number 2, referee Coulter made an ejection or 2 from the Clarington bench. Referee Coach Brock Harris over there looking to be pleading his case. So we're going to see how they get this thing sorted out so we can get this game back underway here.
Well, this might be the game that Clarington's just going to want to hope it gets over quick, get back home and regroup here, just like Brantford Warriors had to do after game number 3. Just shows we've seen everything so far this series, Wayne. We've seen a couple tight shootouts by both teams. We've seen a team dominate in a game, and then we've seen now the other team coming bouncing right back and doing the exact same thing to, in this case, the Clarington Shamrocks. So we'll see what 20 minutes brings here in the third period.
Mark, I think it's very important at this point that Clarington hold it together. You know what? They're down. They're not used to being down, period, but allowing down 10-4. In playoff action, they've only lost one game this playoffs, and that was to these Brantford Warriors. But important for Clarington now just to have a good third period here, take the series back home. They don't want any ejections or injuries. They really want to play a composed third period here. Try to win the period, come back, possibly make a run at it late in the third period here. So Clarington now on the man short. They are killing off that extra deuce that was accumulated by the Clarington assistant captain, Zanoski. Clarington with the ball. He's trying to squeak through 2 defenders. Great job there by the Brantford defenders. And how important, Mark, for them not to take a penalty here as well and even things up.
It looked pretty close there on that play, but McCrory keeping his feet moving and keeping the ball on his stick and dishes it off to the other teammate who's does the workload on that man short, Tyler Farquharson. Those 2 gentlemen have done extraordinary work in that man short situation for the Clarington Shamrock.
Interference, says referee. And now we're going to have a set of penalties here. Again, we're going to have coincidentals as players exchange slashes. Clarington still with the man short. Brantford with the extra attacker. Farquharson trying to kill out the remaining 40 seconds on the first penalty. Good defense here, Mark, by the Warriors.
They drew a penalty, Wayne, just as you had said.
And a goal by Farquharson.
Knew he was going to cash in at some point in time.
So we have a 10-5 ball game, a shorthanded marker there, Mark. As you said, only the 4th shorthanded goal in this series. So as we mentioned, Mark, Clarington a long way from being out of this one. Down 10-5, 19 minutes to go. In the third period, that's only 1 goal every 2 minutes. That's not unachievable.
No, and you're getting possessions back, and you're a loose ball team like this club is. You're going to get the ball in your powerful offensive player stick, and like I said, they've been driving through even in the second period when they were down by a boatload of goals. They were still fighting through that and trying to get some momentum, but nice job by Cole Robillard, who's saying, hey, whoa, we're still leading in this game, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep that situation exactly in the same
and very
scenario.
Important, Mark, for Brantford to stay out of the box, not give Clarington that opportunity to get some power play opportunities. You said their power play has been stifling this series. Brantford needs to just keep their composure as well, really keep their heads on and not give Clarington any sort of daylight. Still up by 5 goals here with about 17 minutes to go in the third period. So there's a turnover picked up by the Warriors on the left side. That's Giles. Quick shot there off a defender's stick, I believe, or off Agus down low. He's taken a beating down low. Why not? He's scored 3 goals already. Quick pass over there. Big save by Cardiff.
Michael Como looked like he was fake down low, go up top, but the very agile Jack Cardiff.
Oh, another penalty coming to Agus for Brantford. Going to be picked up here as goaltender Cardiff gets to the bench for the extra attacker. Clarington going to the power play.
Yeah, there's a little jump in the Shamrock step here, and the players are trying to make some things happen. And like you said, Wayne, we got 15 minutes left. 5-goal lead is nothing, so Warriors really are going to try and keep their composure, and they've got to stay out of that box. That is not the game that is going to make them successful.
So Clarington here with the ball, our usual suspects. Holiday, Cardiff up top. We got Gerard, we got McGregor down low. And that's number 18 now with the ball, Lissick. And there's a 30-second violation. It's going to be Brantford ball deep in their own end. They're going to have 10 seconds to bring that ball up. Clarington's McGregor on the forecheck, able to strip the Warrior player. Back over, says referee Sutcliffe. And this is where Brantford's drawn yet another penalty call. That's number 12 for Brantford. With 16 minutes to go, a 2-man power play. They're able to get 1, maybe 2 goals here. All of a sudden, we've got ourselves a 2-goal, 3-goal game.
Yeah, they've got over a minute here with a 2-man power play. With this kind of offensive prowess, if they can get a goal or 2 here, and they're going to start really putting some pressure on the Warriors. But Nagy standing tall in there. He's had a great game so far.
Farquharson, he finds McGregor, who's now playing the top. Back to Gerard. He's going to get the ball in a rebound. 17 to go on the shot clock. Gerard on the left side. He finds Cardiff. Cardiff loses the handle. Holiday picks it up. Not a great offensive set there for Shamrocks as Brantford bringing the ball back down the floor. Sticks just tipped there, and the ball's going to come back the other way.
Yeah, nice job by Gillis to get it over, but it's those little things, losing the handle on a ball like that, that sometimes you can look back in the game, and those are the things that turn the tides, but Brantford Warriors are still pressing and they're playing hard, so we're going to be in for an exciting last 15 minutes of this game.
So with 1 penalized player about to step back on the floor, it's now a 5-on-4. And there the ball squirts by, almost picked up, almost a fast break for the Warrior player. That was Agus. He would have been one that you wanted on the fast break, already having 3 this game. So back the other way comes Cardiff, number 44. Over to Gerard, back to Cardiff. He finds Halliday. Cardiff a shot, big left shoulder shave there by Nagy. And there's an infraction on the Shamrocks player. It's going to be Brantford ball. So with 14 seconds left to go in the second penalty, they've almost killed off this 2-man advantage with Clarington having nothing to show for it. So 10 seconds now to go. They're just going to be happy to kill this off, but back over, says referee Sutcliffe. We're coming back the other way.
Yeah, nice job by the man short, but I think in particular got to tip your hat off to Nagy standing in there facing a a few point blank shots, coming up with some big saves. And they're back to even strength, so nice job. That's what the Warriors needed here to kind of break that momentum that the Shamrocks seem to be starting to get.
So back the other way now comes Brantford. We have an injured Shamrock player. They have to let this play transpire. Now they'll blow it dead. And that's Lissick now with the ball. He gets it over to Carndiff. Picked up by Gerard. That's Brent Lace down the side for Lissick. Shot from outside. Loose ball picked up by Salazzo. He's going to break it down. He's checked.
Oh, hung the stick out just a little bit too much. Riley Gerard clamps down on it, gets a loose ball, thwarts a opportunity for the Warriors to kill some time off the clock.
Good effort, though, by Salazzo there. Ex-goaltender himself playing at this level and made the transition to D in the last couple years. So turnover there. Picked up by Lucas Nagy. Going to be a fresh 30 for the Warriors, bringing the ball out of their own end. Giles now with the ball. Bringing it up. Bit of stuff in front going on there. Big save right on by Carndiff.
Loose ball by the Shamrocks. Jacob Kelly bringing it down. Argent with his precision stick work trying to poke the ball out, but Shamrocks able to set up on offense and see if they can get a couple looks here.
Jacob Kelly now with the ball. He gets it over to Carndiff. He finds Brent Lace down low. Lace with the shot. Goes wide. McGregor was down there, but he couldn't find the handle. Picked up by Brantford now, bringing the ball out. That's Aki. Aki, he's going to dish off.
Yep, Aaron passes abound here in the third period as teams are both trying to press, continue to play their style of game.
Clarington had to be careful though. They had 6 guys on the floor as McGregor popped out, realized, and then popped back in after making contact with the Brantford player, but neither referee saw it. No infraction, so game on. Giles with the ball. He gets it back up to Wells. Giles goes to set the pick.
Wells himself a big part of that first period, getting a couple of goals to give the Brantford Warriors the 6-1 lead after the first period, which has really been the story of this game, and the same as game number 3 as one of the teams getting a big lead after the first period and making no mistake so far in hanging on to that lead. And Brantford Warriors are about 10 minutes here as they continue to drive to the net and hoping they can come out of this and hold on and even up this series 2-2.
So a shot there by Connor Gillis goes wide. Ball bounces back. Brantford picks it up. And again, Mark, we talked earlier about Brantford now needing to slow the pace down, using every 30-second clock, not allowing Clarington to get back into this, and they can do that by eating up a lot of time on their offensive sets.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they can't drive to the net. They just got to do it in a more timely fashion. And
that was Agus going for number 4. Just catches the left shoulder of Carndiff. Back down the other side is Jacob Kelly.
Yeah, great first period by Agus as well, too, getting the first couple and then a third one in the first period after not dressing in game number 3. Making the most of being of his opportunity here tonight and trying to convince the coaches that they made the right move.
Mark, the one guy we're missing tonight is Jaden Drage, who missed game 1 due to work commitments. Tonight I'm assuming the same thing, but there's Clarington is able to get one back here, make it a 10-6 ball game with just under 9 minutes to go. Still lots of time. So Goaltender Carndiff getting the signal there from Harris that he will be pulled when Clarington does get the ball. We're going to have Clarington ball right off the bat here, says referee Coulter, as there's a face-off infraction on Jordan Ackey, who's usually flawless on these face-offs. We talked about the face-off battles between himself and Gerard for Clarington, but Gerard now with the ball over to Carndiff. Carndiff down to McGregor. Tried to do the pick and roll there. Carndiff tried to get it back to McGregor, but just floated it right into the stick there of Merritt. Back down the other way. Wells tries to go 5-hole. Carndiff equal to the task. Back the other way now. Gerard. We're starting to see the power play unit now for Clarington as they've shortened their bench. Big shot there by Brent Lace. Picked up by Holiday. Big shot there.
Nice 30-second violation by the defense of the Brantford Warriors. Not only burning off some clock time, but letting the clock do their defense for them.
You know, definitely what the Brantford coaches want to see at this point. Defense forcing the turnover, forcing the 30-second shot clock, coming down on offense, doing the same thing, eating up as much time as they can. They know that with Clarington only 4 goals away, this is a team, if there's any team that can come back from a 4-goal deficit late, it's the Clarington Shamrocks.
Yeah. Oh, interference call here. Looks like Laidler's going to the box for an interference call for the Shamrocks.
So now with 7.5 to go in the third period, game number 4, real opportunity here for Brantford to close the door on the Shamrocks. If they can get one here, or at least eat up 2 minutes of the remainder of this period, making it much more difficult for the Shamrocks to mount any sort of a comeback. And Brantford with a win here tonight. There's a goal by Robillard.
A big goal by Robillard. Power play goal. Gives them a 5-goal lead, 11-6. Just over 7 minutes to play.
A win tonight, Mark. We got a whole new series. We're best of 3 now with the series heading back to Clarington this Saturday night, 7 o'clock start, game number 5 from the Rickard Arena. If Brantford wins tonight, we're right back here on Monday night for game 6. That will be an 8 o'clock start. And if it goes the distance, game number 7 will be Wednesday from the Rickard Arena in Clarington for an 8 o'clock start.
Wouldn't it great to see these two teams go 7 games? We know a lot about their offensive prowess for both teams, but as this could possibly turn into a best 2 out of 3 after tonight, how important is the defense and transition game going to be? Because we all know offense wins games, Wayne, but defense wins championships, and I think the defense is going to have a big role to play in the remaining part of this series.
And I think, Mark, we saw in game number 3, Clarington's defense, really hold the ground, only allowing 4 Brantford goals. Here tonight, the other way, Brantford's defense really doing an awesome job of stifling the most powerful offense in the Ontario Jr C League, aside from Six Nations this year, holding them to only 6 goals.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and they get another goal.
That's Agus with his 4th.
Hunter Agus, 4th goal of the night.
I think he's made a case, Mark, for him being in the lineup for game 5. I don't think he'll be missing any more action. They're going to want to make sure he's in the lineup there, and he's really kind of taken the limelight away from what has been a left-handed shot-dominated offense by the Brantford Warriors up until tonight's game.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Dredge on the right-hand shots, left side offense of the Brantford Warriors. Austin Giles had a big game, but you never really had anybody consistent tonight. Hunter Agus back in the lineup. He's doing a great job.
So with just under 6 minutes now to go, knowing that game 5 will be Saturday night in Clarington for a 7 o'clock start. We know if this game finishes the way it looks like it will, we know we're at least going 6. And you're right, Mark, a game 7. We haven't seen a game 7 since we moved to the 7-game format. And, really, again, just shows it's a testimony to the skill level of these players and the heart and desire. Again, Brantford could have come out tonight flat. They could have come out after, losing quite handily to the Shamrocks in game 3. But instead, they come out tonight with a more than solid effort. They've done a great job of controlling the play and staying out of the box. And really, again, like we saw in game number 2, how this has been. And there's a bit of rough play.
Yeah, we got Ethan Warlow trying to take some liberties on one of the top offensive players on the Brantford Warriors in Ty Argent. Sutcliffe quickly gets into the play and breaks that up. Looks like Argent's going to be okay. So 5-on-4 action here with the Brantford Warriors. Cole Robillard, who came up with a big goal to kind of stop the momentum that the Shamrocks were getting. And then Agus with his 4th goal of the night, restoring a 6-goal lead here for the Warriors over the Shamrocks. And they continue to press to the net and open net. A nice save by Cardiff.
Oh. And we got Wells, nothing to do with that one.
Laidler and Wells getting into it.
And it looks like Brantford needs to just walk away at this point. I think that's what Robillard's trying to do with his guys, get them out of there. Kind of a reversal mark of game 3 when we saw some of the Brantford players maybe losing their cool a little bit, being down by a bunch. Here we're seeing, it the other way. And it's typical in any sport, Mark. Nobody wants to lose, and nobody wants to lose badly. And that's what's happening to Clarington tonight. That's unfamiliar ground for a lot of these guys who've grown up in the Clarington program. And that's why I think a lot of these guys are just having fun out here. And I know Clarington's losing right now, but we talked about goaltender Cardiff earlier. All smiles, having lots of fun. These guys realize that these opportunities don't come along all the time in sport, and so most of them are taking full advantage of being in this position, being in the Meredith Cup for the second time there. Robillard down low, fakes across to Agus, tries to go low on Cardiff. Cardiff says no way. So Clarington now with the ball, trying to break it up the floor. Picked up there by Gerard. The one hand behind the back underhand. Gary Gates style shot, stopped by Nagy. Being held there against the boards by Giles. With 3.5 now to go in the 3rd period, Clarington. Giles, he's got to be careful. He's going to draw one here. Argent. Definitely an opportunity mark here that if I was Brantford, I would just let the guys sit back and let Clarington just kill off the 2 minutes, not draw a penalty or an injury or get themselves into an altercation.
Yeah, let the clock do your defense for you. Don't get yourself in any potential injury or suspension. Play your game as they do there with another look. Agus almost getting another one.
Back the other way is Gerard.
Big save by Nagy. Does that pump up the crowd or what?
Yeah, another decent crowd here tonight, Mark, as they did in game number 1. Fans happy to be here, just like the players are, coming out, showing their support. Not the arena that the boys played in all summer, but you know what? They're making the most of it, and it's pretty loud in here tonight when these guys get going.
And even a great walk in here at the Wayne Gretzky Sports Complex, walking in, seeing a little bit of their Hall of Fame display. Nice to see a couple lacrosse sticks in there. Derek Graham and a few other trophies.
Another penalty here coming to the Shamrocks, an unnecessary slashing call on Gerard. And there's a shot wide by Connor Merritt. Picked up.
Cross crease pass. Just misses.
Shot there off goaltender Nagy, out of play. Going to be Clarington ball. With under 2 minutes now to go in the final period here. Mark, as we mentioned earlier, game number 4 is going to be in Clarington for a 7 o'clock start. We will have a game number 5 will be Saturday at 7. Game number 6 will be right back here in Brantford Monday night for an 8 p.m. start. And like we said, should this go 7, fingers crossed, they will be back in Clarington on Wednesday night for an 8 p.m. start.
Yeah, great series, a lot of back and forth. Always questioning what the other teams, how they're going to respond. This has been a seesaw battle. Storylines abound. Very interesting and very looking forward to what's going to happen in the next game, the next 2 games for sure, and hopefully even a 7th game, as you had said, Wayne.
Definitely what this league needs, Mark. You know, in the last couple of years, we mentioned it in game 1 that, you know, the East has really kind of dominated the West, and it's been tough for the West to get wins. But, you know, Brantford really holding their own here and showing that, you know, it's not an East-dominated league anymore, and that, you know, they're representing the West. And you know what? I'm proud to call these guys West Brothers because they're doing a great job on behalf of the West Division. So with 30 seconds now left to go.
Looks like we're going to be down to our last possession.
And with 30 seconds to go here, Farquharson, he's going to be content just to kill this out. And they're going to hit the showers. So with this game in the books, Mark, 12-6 victory for the Brantford Warriors on home turf. Heading back to Clarington for game number 5 on Saturday night. Folks, you're not going to want to miss that one. Get down to the Rickard Arena and catch some Junior C action there, as we're down to a best 2 of 3 series now in this 7-game set. Each team now with 2 wins. Again, hats off to Brantford, Mark, for coming back after a lopsided loss on Monday night. Coming back, taking it to the defending champs, the Clarington Shamrocks.
Yeah, they put the ball back in Clarington Shamrocks' court. Responded as they needed to do after game 3. And we'll see Shamrocks going back to the Chamois Shack for game number 5, and we'll see how they respond.
Mark, on behalf of myself and yourself, we want to thank Gary and Alex and all the guys at JVI Video, and thank the Ontario Jr C Lacrosse League. We're going to throw it back to Alex in the truck, and we'll be back on Saturday night, 7 o'clock for game 5. Thanks, and have a great night.